everyone's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is Play Dead Live Ship Strike Season number 3. The last time we were here, Jet was walking away with the Golden Battleship and won the Grand Championship. We had Ark win at year 1, Jet won at year 2. Who is going to win it in year number 3? We're going to find out. We got 4 really, really good teams. Rules are going to change a little bit next week, or in 2 weeks when we do the second battle of this. Ship Strike is done once per month, but because January carried over, we're actually kicking this off in February. So we'll have this one in a couple of weeks. We will have another one. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a real game changer for Ship Strike because we're going to have torpedoes. We're going to have rafts. We're going to have a pet, the Snarky Shark. So that is going to be wild as well. So you guys ready to take a look at the schedule the rest of the week? Here we go, or the rest of the year. Going to be laid out for you guys. So we got January. You see Jet and Vox 8:30 tonight. We got Sly and Ark in a doubleheader at exactly 9:30. Then we've got Ark at Jet, which will be February 23rd. Vox at Sly, and then March. So we show you the first quarter now. I don't think you're going to plan 6 months in advance, but we do have a schedule for the entire year. Jet and Sly, Ark and Vox. And over to the right, how about our defending grand champions? We've got Justice, Kel, Busy, Cardinal, Problem Child, and Cyborg Hendrix with that Golden Battleship. So I'm going to take you down to the first match. The first one we have in store for you guys is the defending champs, but they're on the road. They are taking their boats into the Vox Harbor. And remember, Ship Strike is now 5 versus 5, so super fast, a lot of cool moves. You can throw snowstorms, you can freeze the ice, you can throw bunkos, but in a couple of weeks, you're going to have torpedoes. And torpedo will give you the chance to pick 3 targets. How crazy is that? You know bunko, you can pick 2. Torpedo, you're going to be able to pick 3 targets. But there are some rules that apply because that's super strong. You're also going to be able to use a life raft in case you get hit. All right, let me take you down to the Vox Harbor. They are the home team and show you. Captains, you will have special avatars tonight. In the future, all players will have upgraded avatars. So I'm going to take you down to the Vox Harbor. Our starting lineup will be as follows. For the visiting road team and defending champions, we got Kel, who will be the captain. Kel will be followed by Justice, Problem Child, Cardinal, and Hendrix. Over on the other side, the captain for Team Vox, we got Doc Die. Doc will be followed by Trigger, Flyrod. Flyrod playing tonight. That's right, the champ. We got Sir Tim and Nightshade. 5 versus 5. Now remember, captains, I will read it twice, so it's up to you. You don't have to say hits. I'll say this is the target, and I'll say en route. Now, if you want to use a prevention, you want to use a blue, you want to use something else, you can. You can say wait, and I'll wait on your move. Otherwise, we are moving right along. These games are super fast, and this is what it's all about. All right. Kel, you will be first to go. So why don't you go ahead and give me your move right now, and we'll kick this thing off. Because by the time I get your move, it's going to be exactly 8:30. Good luck to all teams. It is 8:30. Kel, it is up to you. Let's see what you got. Kel's like, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm starting out. Kel dropping a seal. And then going bunko to A2 and G1. And Dr. Dice, tonight's captain. Bunko to A2 and G1. They are en route. A2 is a miss. G1 is also a miss. All right, Dr. Dye, you're up. Let's see what you got, Doc. Remember, the goal of the game is to sink all 3 battleships, or if time runs out, whoever's leading at the time runs out will be declared the victor. After Dr. Dye, we will have Justice, and after Justice, we'll have Trigger. Have your moves ready if you're on deck. Doc, you are a little bit late there. Like, by a little bit, about a minute delay. So, Doc, you're going to need to refresh because it already hit. And you don't need to type hit, says the captain. All you need to do is type wait if you want it to wait. And if you guys in Vox can message Doc and just let her know she's about a minute behind on the stream. There it is. All right, Doc Dye going to seal. Seal is good. F2 and H5. Doc Dye throwing a bunco. F2 and H5. They are en route. F2 is a miss. H5 is also a miss. All right, Justice, you are up. I think Justice might have been captaining that ship in the Grand Championship. You don't need to type hits. Justice going to drop a seal. Justice playing bunco, F5, and G7. Justice plays a seal, bunco, F5, G7. It is en route. F5 is a miss. G7 is also a miss. Trigger, you're up. Trigger, you're on the clock. Trigger dropping a seal. Trigger going to play bunco to A4 and F6. Bunco, A4, F6 is en route. A4 is a miss. F6 is also a miss. Kel playing Problem Child. Kel's going to get her work in tonight. Kel, MPC, give me your move. And those of you tuning in, this is better than the Battleship game. This is the most competitive Battleship game you will find. It is our version called Ship Strike. We play it live, and we got a lot more buffs. MPC, where you at, Kel? We have MPC, Fly Rod, Cardinal, and Tim. MPC, Seal. MPC is going to throw a bunco to A4 and C5. Bunco to A4, C5. It's en route. A4 is a miss. C5 is also a miss. Fly Rod, you're on the clock. The champ is on the clock. Fly Rod, dropping a seal. Bunco, A2, B2. fly rod with a seal and a bunco to A2 and B2. It's en route. A2 is a miss. B2 is also a miss. Cardinal, you're up. We have Cardinal, Sir Tim, Hendricks, and Nightshade. Where's the Cardinal at? Cardinal dropping a seal. And then Cardinal is going to go bunco. A7, C2. Cardinal with a seal, bunco, A7, C2 is en route. A7 is a miss. C2 is also a miss. Sir Tim. Sir Tim in the battleship. Give us your move, Sir Tim. Sir Tim dropping a seal. Sir Tim going bunco. G3 and H3. Sir Tim with a seal. Bunco G3, H3. And either Sir Tim was on to something or we got our first bluff of the game. Kelsey, I'm going to play a blue and stop it. All right. So we draw a blue out. And again, did Tim uncover something or was Kel trying to do the old okie doke? We'll find out. All right, Hendricks. You're up, Hendricks, on the clock. We did get our first blue of the game being played. We have Hendricks and then Nightshade. Henny is going to play a seal. All players are sealed. Bunco, D1, and F3. Henny dropping a seal. D1, F3. Doc says wait. Now either both teams are on to something or both teams decided to bluff on that move. So maybe Doc said, oh, you bluff, I bluff. Or who knows? Doc playing a blue as well. Getting interesting all of a sudden. Either way, Henny is shut down. And the final move of round number one is Nightshade. Your move, Nightshade. Nightshade dropping a seal. And Nightshade is going H1, G8. H1, G8. Bunco is en route. H1 is a miss. G8 is also a miss. All right, before we go back to round number two, I want to take a quick explanation. I don't want to take up everybody's time because we got a match going on. If this had the new items in play and someone played a snarky shark, let's say Kel would have played a snarky shark and said, C8 or G1 or whatever, A7, any of those. So we would have played it at that spot. At the end of the round, it will move in the opposite direction. So let's say she played A7. She put a snarky shark on A7. Then at the end of the round, that shark would move to B7. If something was there, it would stop. And then it would go to C7 and then D7. So it would go all the way up. Now it can be killed. And if it dies, somebody else can play another snarky shark. You can only have one shark in play per team at a time. So you can't have like, here, 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 all the way around, a bunch of sharks uncovering the whole map. So it does gradually reveal the map. So hopefully that helps you guys for the next match when we will have snarky sharks patrolling the waters. All right, let's go to round number 2. Kel, you're up. Round number 2. No hits in round number 1. Kel going Bunko, D1, D2. Bunko, D1, D2. It is en route. D1 is a miss. D2 is also a miss. Dr. Die, you're on the clock, Dr. Die. A lot of missing going on tonight. A lot of times they're finding stuff on the first, second toss, but tonight it's crazy. Dr. Die going Bunko, G3, D6. Dr. Die, Bunko to G3 and D6. Kel says, wait. Kel going to use the prevention. All right, they have a legendary left. Justice, you're on the clock. Justice going Bunko, F3, F2. Justice with a Bunko, F3, F2. Doc says, I'm going to prevent that. Y'all see a trend here? Are both teams bluffing? Is like one prevents another, one blue. All right, there's some wildness going on here. Either way, Dr. Die says, let me shut that down. All right, so Justice, Doc shutting you down. Trigger, you're up. Bunko, A8, B8. Trigger going Bunko, A8, B8. It's en route. A8 is a miss. B8 is also a miss. Kel playing Problem Child. Kel with the Problem Child. Both teams starting out the season 0-0. This gets you out of the gate. Whoever wins tonight, first place. MPC, Bunko, F3, and H4. Bunco, F3, and H4. It is en route. One of those two is a hit. One of those two would be a hit. We don't know which, but that's all I can tell you. Fly Rod, you're up. Fly Rod, Bunco. F1, F4. Mixing it up a little bit. Fly Rod going Bunco. F1, F4. It is en route. F1 is a miss. F4 is also a miss. Chad, you're up. The Cardinal is on the clock. Reminder, all players from tonight's winning team will get 25 Castle Strike stones for our new game rolling out in March called Castle Strike. You will be raiding the other team's castle. It's a 1-hour showdown. You got a lot of buffs, a lot of cool stuff. And tonight's MVP will also get a bonus 25 strike stones to use for their team as well. Where is the Cardinal? Cardinal going to go Snowstorm to F3. Snowstorm to F3. Now, because he threw the Snowstorm, he does freeze a part of his own lake. We're going to start right there. So there's an ice block there. That ice block will need to be broken. Pontiff. I think Pontiff gets rid of a smoke, Doc. I mean, your team can definitely play a legendary. There's several that you can play, but Pontiff and anybody on your team can. Oh, she's like, yes, Judas. Okay. All right. Pontiff. Nope. Yes, Judas. All right. So Judas, where would you like to redirect? I have no idea what you're doing, Doc. That is the most confusing comment ever. Where would you like to redirect that snowstorm? G3. All right. Doc says, I'm going to send that over to G3. And Kel says, well, I'm just going to Judas it right back. Kel, where would you like to redirect it back? All right. All legends, everything is used. Kel says, I'm going to send it back to F3. All right. It is a hit at F3. It's going to break Fly Rod's seal. All right, Fly Rod lost his seal. All right. Let's go to Sir Tim. Sir Tim going Bunko. G2, G3. Bunko, G2, G3. There are no preventions left. One of those two is a hit. If both of them were a hit, it would unveil, right? You'd have some magic happening. But one of those two is a hit for Sir Tim. No one has officially gotten a hit yet. All right, let's go over to Henny. But I got a feeling the action is about to crank up. Henny, you're up. Oh, they didn't put the max seal back on Fly Rod. Ouch. All right. Fly Rod, Res and Restore. Now, Fly Rod, you can't be sealed, and this is going to go to G7. You can still play. So you Res and Restore, you're still in the game, you still get a move, but no one can seal you because it's technically you're dead. All right, so Fly Rod with the Res and Restore, and there it is. The first fire of the night. You can see right there that hit. Now, Kel knew he was there and chose to use the Snowstorm to freeze a block as opposed to the Sad, which would have given her another attack. Interesting strategy. Nightshade, you're up. But Henny with the first hit of the night. Bunko, A7, C8. A7, C8 is en route. A7 is a miss. C8 is also a miss. All right, now if we were playing Snarky Sharks, that Snarky Shark would move another block. So you can see how cool those are going to be. I mean, you figure you can probably unveil 5, 6 blocks in a game with the Snarky Shark. Kel, you're up. Round number 3 is starting out. So go super fast because there's no preventions left. Kel going Snowstorm to F2. Was she right? I mean, look, there's a lot of places around there that she could target. F2 is a hit. Breaks Nightshade's seal. Dr. Dye, you're up. All right, Dr. Dye, you got to get Vox back in line. Jet off to a good start here all of a sudden. Maxial Nightshade, good move by the Doc. Bunko, C4, D3. C4, D3. Interesting. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. All right, let's go to Justice. Snowstorm to F2. We'll break Nightshade Seal once again. And freeze in the waters. See what they're doing. Won them a championship. Trigger, you're up. Max Seal to whom? I know, but you still got to type it. The only person you can max seal is Nightshade, so I will go ahead and give you that, but make sure you give me the target. Bunko, D3E3. D3E3. Trigger. One of those two is a hit. You can probably figure out your path at this point, right? One of those two is a hit. Can't tell you which one. MPC, you're up. I love how when we don't play for a month, people forget some of the basic stuff. I'm laughing right now, but you'll laugh later. Grizzly to F2. Breaks Nightshade Seal. Fly Rod, you're up. Max Seal to Nightshade. Snowstorm to D3. Max Seal is good. Snowstorm over to D3. That's a big hit, Fly Rod. And there is a reason why it's unveiled. You should know the answer to that. The frozen block is on D4. So that would have been, hang on, E5, D4. Yep. So that's where it's frozen. It's going in that path. Fly Rod, meanwhile, going to start at this corner. And we'll go the other direction with snowstorms. Max Seal Nightshade, snowstorm hits. There was no seal to break, so again, that should tell you. And then we get a block. So Fly Rod with a hit. Each team has one hit. Cardinal, you're up. Snowstorm to F2. Break that seal again. And let's freeze C3. Sir Tim, you're up. Going sad to G3. I like the move. The sad grenade, though, has to hit a non-sealed target. But that is a smart attack to hit that target. However, you don't get a bonus move because sad is going to break the cardinal seal. So it hits his seal, but because it doesn't hit him, you don't get a bonus attack, but you do know, obviously, where he is. Hendricks, you're up. But Vox was trailing early. They might have more knowledge about Jet than Jet has about them. So they might have flipped the game. Henny's going to max seal the cardinal. Sad to F2. Now, smart move because Nightshade is not sealed. Nightshade, Resin Restore. All right, well, it did not sink. So, Kel, you get another attack. Henny with a bonus attack. He did get the hit. And both hits by Jet, Henny. Grizzly to F1. F1 is en route. It's a miss. All right. Nightshade, you are dead, but you do get a move. Your move. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Somebody remember to play Vine Smoke. Vine Smoke will break the cardinal seal. Sad Grenade will hit the cardinal. Cardinal, Resin Restore for us. And G3 is a hit. So Nightshade getting on the board. Nightshade. Give me a second attack. You earned it. And which grenade are you throwing to G2? All right. Can you type out snowstorm for me, please? Just so the inventory team knows. G2 is a miss. But he does freeze his side of the lake a little bit. Kel, you're up. We're moving on to round 4. Grizzly to F4. Well, that narrowed it down, right? Oh, you broke trigger seal. So now she knows the target and where the target's at. Dr. Dye, you're up. Got a super, super close game. Doc going snowstorm to G4. G4's a miss. Man, Kel and her mapping has got Vox like all over the place. But we do get another snowstorm to C6. Justice, you're up. Justice going sad to F4. Trigger, res and restore. And we got our first sunken battleship. One to 0. Justice, bonus attack. Where are you going? Bunko, B8H8. B8 is a miss. H8 is also a miss. Now remember, Bunkos will break ice blocks, but you won't unveil what's underneath. So there are ways to clear the ice blocks, and you will have to clear them eventually. Well, maybe not. Depends on how the game goes. Trigger, you're up. Vox has now lost the lead. It's still a close one. We got 20 minutes to go. Bunko, G4H3. G4, I think, has already been attacked. By someone. And H3 is a miss. One fizzles and one is a miss. Now, unless you do what you just did, you got some data now, all right? You certainly narrowed it down. MPC, you're up. Loving me some ship strike, y'all. Fast, fun, action-packed. Bunko, E7, C6. E7. E7 is a miss. C6. It's going to break the ice block. Ice block is gone. That's a C5, and C6 is not revealed, but the ice block is gone. Fly rod. Okay, fly rod type no vine smoke. The reason you can't play the vine smoke is because you don't know the person, okay? So you still have your vine smoke so you can type it. That person would have to be unveiled, and you know who that person is before you can use a vine smoke. So fly rod still has his vine, but he's going snowstorm to F3. Now, F3 does break Justice seal. So now we know Justice is there and Justice has no seal. All right. And, Kel, they refroze where you just unfroze with that Bunko. Okay? So it's back. Fly rod, good move. Cardinal, you're up. If you guys are watching at home, this is a super, super close game. Now, I know one team has sunk a ship, but Vox is on the prowl. Question is, can Jet find another ship? We have Cardinal, and then we have Sir Tim. $16 minutes to go. Cardinal, max seal Justice. Bunko, C3, B3. C3 is a miss. B3 is also a miss. Sir Tim, you're up. Sir Tim going to bring it. Vines to Justice. Sad F3. Beautiful, beautiful move there. Well, not if you're Justice and not if you're Jet, but what a smart move. Justice, res and restore. Vines will break the seal. Sad grenade to F3. And how good is this one? Because you actually sank a two-seater. Now that's interesting. A two-seater is sunk. Jet still has the lead. Sir Tim, give me your second attack. And congratulations on sinking that ship. Jet still with the lead because they sunk a bigger ship. Which grenade is going to D3? All right, he'll post a grenade now. All right, if it's Bunko to D3, you can't throw a Bunko to a revealed target. So you're going to have to type a standard grenade because you did pick a revealed target. So it can be anything. It can be a grizzly or anything. But it's going to fizzle either way because that target has been revealed. Hendricks, you're up. I feel like Jet's going to have to find a target because Vox is getting close. Henny Bunko, C7, E8. C7 and E8, one of those two is a hit. Not both of them, but one of those two would be a hit. Nightshade, you're up. Bunko, C3, D2. C3, D2. One of those two is a hit, and it does not break the ice block because I can't tell you which one of those two is a hit. But one of those two, there definitely is a person in a boat. Just depends on how you get there. Kel, you're up. Snowstorm to C7. Dr. Dye loses her seal. She's still alive. And we're going to freeze A1. Dr. Dye, you're up. Every time we do a ship strike, the next time we do a bundle, there's a lot of requests for snowstorms for some reason. Dr. Dice, I'm going to gamble. She's going sad to D2. And Doc, that's a hell of a gamble. Because D2 is a hit. And there's no seal. And that should tell you it is a ghost ship, and ghost ships are 3. So, Dr. Dye, you get a bonus attack. Question is, where is that seat? Dr. Dye says, I'm going D1. What are you throwing to D1, Doc? A snowstorm to D1. Dr. Dye has sunk a battleship and given Vox the lead. They now have sunk 2 battleships. Look at the doctor. Oh, my goodness. The game has changed. And a snowstorm to boot. Justice. You got to bring your team back, man. Justice is on the clock. We got 9 minutes to go. Vox now has 2 battleships. Justice says, Sad to C7. Yes, it's sad for Dr. Die. Res and restore Dr. Die. And Justice says Grizzly to C6. Now, Grizzly to C6 is going to break the ice block. So the ice block is gone. Trigger, you're up. Can you find a third boat? Because it looks like Jet is now on the move. Bunko, C6, D5. C6, D5. One of those two would be a hit. One of those two would be a hit. Kel, you got to have the problem child in a big way. Vox knows a little something. Kel says, I got to gamble. I'm going sad to C6. She needs a big hit. Is it? It is not. C6 is a miss. Oh, my. Oh, my. Fly Rod, you're up. Where will Vox go? And can Jet get back on track? Snowstorm to D5. D5. Breaks any seal. They know something. Oh, my goodness. And Fly Rod getting a snowstorm. Chad, you're up. Cardinal, you got to come through. Vox is on the prowl, trying to send the defending champs to 0-1. Five minutes to go. Grizzly to C8. Grizzly to C8. C8 is a miss. Sir Tim, you're up. Sad to D5. Yes, it is. Henny, res and restore. Sir Tim, you get another attack. Which way will you go? Grizzly to D4. D4. Grizzly will break the ice block. No ice block is now on D4. Henny, you're up. Oh my goodness, do they need Henny? Henny, Grizzly to B7. Grizzly to B7 will break the ice block. No ice block on B7. Nightshade, you're up. Funko, D6, C5. D6, C5. One of those two is a hit. Probably didn't find out anything you didn't already know. Kel, you're up. This may be the final move of the game. Depending on what Kel gets done, could be the final move of the game. Kel, your move. Vines to B7. B7 has not. You can't play Vines to B7 because you don't know who's behind Vines. And the Sad Grenade will only break Sir Tim's seal. And that's it. Team Box with the win. Team Box, 2 sunken ships to 1, starting out the season 1-0. My MVP is Sir Tim. Sunk a boat and got another hit. Sir Tim, tonight's MVP. Great job to both teams tonight. Vox, 1-0. Jet, you'll get a chance to redeem yourself in a couple of weeks. Good job tonight, everybody. All right, take a deep breath. If you are Sly and Ark, I'm going to take you to the Ark Harbor. Ark Harbor, everybody. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. Deadly Dimes is the captain for the road team. Villar is the captain for the home team. It'll be Dimes, then Villar, then Bones, then the Assassin, Tiny, Dow, Ocean Man, Gemstone, Football Master, and the Pope. And again, no torpedoes tonight. If we did have, you could use torpedoes in round 1. No Snarky Shark. You could play that, have one in each ocean at a time. And, of course, Lifeboat probably would have helped a couple players tonight because it would have given you an extra round, and you never know how that goes down. All right. It is 9:32. We will stop at 10:32. Dimes, you're up. First move of the game. 9:32 start time. Good luck, both teams. Let's see who's going to start out 1-0 and be tied for first place. Dimes dropping a seal. Bunko, B1, F6. Bunko to B1, F6. It is en route. B1 is a miss. F6 is also a miss. Valar, you're up. I think I missed this game more than the other games because we haven't done it as often. So I did miss Ship Strike, delaying it a week. Valar dropping a seal. Bunko, G3 and A3. Valar dropping a seal. Going Bunko. G3, A3. Dimes says wait. Dimes, is she on point already, or are you pulling the bluff early on? Dimes, I'm playing the blue. We'll find out, won't we? All right. Bones, you're up. Either way, both Dimes and Valar shut down in the first attacks. A seal for Bones. And then throw in a Bunko. H1 and A1. Bones, if you had added new items, you would have played a torpedo, wouldn't you? Bones would have been aggressive. She'd have been like, I'm bringing the firepower. H1 and A1 is en route. H1 is a miss. A1 is a steak sauce, but it's also a miss. Julia, the assassin, bring the heat, Julia. What you got? Julia dropping a seal. So I'm going to throw a grizzly to A3. Dime says wait. Julia testing the waters to see how serious Dimes is. Dimes not playing her hand, so I'm going to play a prevention. All right. Tiny, you're up. Neither team with any hits yet. Tiny dropping a seal. And then going with the Bunko. D2, D8. Seal. Then playing D2, D8, It is en route. D2 is a miss. D8 is also a miss. Dow, you're up. Dow dropping a seal. Snowstorm to A3. Start this one at the upper right corner. Snowstorm will freeze that area. Snowstorm to A3. Is en route. A3 will break Tiny seal. Tiny loses his seal. Ocean Man, you're up. Last time we saw Sly in Ship Strike, they lost a heartbreaker in the finals to Jet. It was an epic, epic battle. It was a grand championship. It was so close. But Jet pulled it out at the end. Will this be Sly's season to come back? We got Ocean Man, Max Seal to Tiny. Bunko, A8, F8. Valar going to Phantom Cape using their legendary. All right, Tiny does not get the benefit of the seal. A8, F8 is en route. A8 is a miss. F8 is also a miss. Jumpstone, you're up. Gemstone dropping a seal. Sad Grenade to A3. Seal. Sad Grenade to A3. It's en route. A3 is a hit. Tiny, Res and Restore. Gemstone, bonus attack. Which grenade you throw into B3? Grizzly to B3. B3 is a miss. Football Master, you're on the clock. Football, dropping a seal. Bunko, C4, C6. Villar says wait. Villar playing blue. And Pope, you're up. I think what I remember most about that championship with Jet was Football Master. Sly was down, and Football got an amazing hit to bring him right back to the final move. What the hell kind of name is that? Weed Master Night. Seriously? All right. There you go. Weed Master. Every time he types it, I'm going to think it's Ray or Amy. All right. Seal, A4 Snowstorm. Plays a seal. Snowstorm to A4. All right. Pope with a seal. Snowstorm to A4 is en route. Breaks bone, seal. And they get the effect of the snowstorm. Dimes, you're up. Max seal bones. If you look at these two maps, and these are the way games can flip. I mean, Arc looks good right now, but literally, there are 2 blocks on the board for Sly. You look over on Arc, and like, the whole map's going to be revealed soon. All right, we got Max seal bones, C4 snowstorm. C4 is a miss. A1 is frozen. Villar, you're up. Vines to bones, sad, A4. Vines to bones. Sad grenade to A4 is en route. Vines will break the seal. Sad grenade will hit. Bones, res and restore. Now the question is, Villar, you get a bonus attack. Where are you going to go? It's not a two-seater, so you're not out of the woods yet. Former tag team partners throwing grenades at each other. Villar, give me that second attack. Grizzly to A5. Grizzly to A5 is en route. And it is going to break Dimes' seal. All right, Bones, you're up. Sometimes it's a curse when people find a boat too early because they get behind on the map. We will see. We got Snowstorm to C6. Villar says, wait. Bones going to freeze B2 with the Snowstorm. Villar going to use the Prevention. All right. All buffs for Arc are gone. That'll speed the game up a little bit. Sly still has a legendary. The Assassin. Julia, you're up. A5. Sad Grenade. Yes, it is sad. Deadly Dimes. Resin Restore. Three-seater is done for Team Arc. Julia's sinking ship. Julia, you got a bonus attack. Throw it. G3, Grizzly. G3, Grizzly is en route. G3 is a miss. Tiny, you're up. Snowstorm to C6. C6 will break the Weed Master seal. And freeze C3. All right, let's go to Weed Daddy. Dow, you're up. Dow is going. Nope, you're never going to live it down. Every fish fight, every kills game. Max Seal, the Pope. Bunko, H8D7. H8 is a miss. D7, also a miss. Ocean Man, you're up. We have Ocean Man, Jim, Football, and the Pope. Vines. See? Vines to the Weed Master. Sad, C6. Vines breaks the seal. Sad, C6. Pope, Resin Restore. Ocean Man, bonus attack. Reminder to all players, be sure to check your inventories tonight. You must have the grenades at the time you use them. Going Snowstorm to B6. Snowstorm to B6 is en route. B6 is a miss. But the Snowstorm is nice. Gemstone, you're up. Bunko, H5E1. H5 is a miss. E1 is a miss. Football, you're up. Football, Max Seal to Ocean Man. Snowstorm to C5. Snowstorm to C5. Will break Dow Seal. Pope, you're up. Max Seal to Dow. Bunko, C2, F6. Bunko, C2, F6 is en route. C2's a miss. F6 is a miss. Dimes, you're up. Round 3, everybody. If we had the Snarky Shark, he would have moved twice already. Big reveals. You'll see him, I think, in 3 weeks. I think it's February 23rd, right? Vines to Dow. Sad to C5. Vines will break Dow's seal. Sad to C5. Dow, res and restore. Dime sinking a 2-seater. Arc barely in the lead. It's close now, though. Dimes, bonus attack with the sad grenade. What you got? What are you throwing? Snowstorm to F3. F3 is a miss. But Snowstorm. Going to freeze G7. Valar, your move. Bunko, H2, G1. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Bones, you're up. Bones going Bunko, E3, F5. E3's a miss. F5 is a miss. Julia, you're up. Grizzly to H2. Julia throwing Grizzly to H2. It's en route. It's a hit. And there is no seal. So make of it what you will. Tiny, you're up. Tiny Bunko, H4E1. H4E1. One of those two is a hit. Oh, now we got a game. We got a game. One of those two is a hit. Each team has a boat sink. And teams know a little knowledge. Dow, you're up. Grizz to H3. He wasn't quite ready to gamble. What you doing, Villar? Grizz to H3. It's a hit. 2 for 2. Ocean Man, you're up, man. Your team needs you. Ocean Man, what you got? Grizzly to H4. H4 is a miss. Jumpstone, you're up. Jim going Grizzly to H1. Grizzly to H1 is a miss. Football Master, you're up. Snowstorm to E1. It's a hit, and there is no seal. Football doing what he does. Again. You're kidding me. All right. We're going to put a frozen block because Snowstorm over in that corner over at A8. Football with another big hit, getting Sly right back in it. Pope, you're up. Pope going sad grenade to H4. It's a hit. Pope sinking the battleship. 2 3-seaters are down. Now, is Art going to be chasing a 2-seater around? While Sly gets back into it, it's 2-1 right now. Pope. I'll allow it. All right. So I will allow that because she does have the prevention, and we kind of knew what was going to be there anyway. All right. So we're going to undo Pope sunk battleship. All right, so H4 is off the board. They're going to Judas that to D1. D1 is a hit, and that is the final legendary. So good move by Dimes. Judas to D1. Is it a hit, though? It is a hit. All right. Now we got a game, don't we? Because that was on Pope's turn. And that is the final move. No preventions, no legendaries, nothing. So let's take it back to the top. Deadly Dimes, your move. Both teams on to a little something. I think both teams kind of knew what they were going to uncover. Deadly Dimes, you're up. Dimes going sad to C1. Deadly Dimes. Throwing the marbles out there. C1 is a miss. Ouch. Burning the sad grenade, taking a chance. Was not meant to be there. Valar, you're up. Go bigger. Hey, I don't hate you. I think it's a good move. I mean, you guys are down just a little bit, so you're trying to make up a turn or two. All right, Valar going sad. We know. There we go. Valar gets the sink. So we've got Ark with their second 3-seater, and Valar bonus attack. Villar going Grizzly to F8. Grizzly to F8. She's like, I got a bonus attack. What do I do with it? You missed. F8 is a miss. Bones, you're up. Got about 19 minutes left. Going sad to F1. What makes you choose F1? Bones, sinking a ship. Arc with a slight lead. Bones, you get a bonus attack. It's anybody's game now. I mean, each team down to one boat. B7 Snowstorm. B7 is a miss. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's probably never happened before. She threw the Snowstorm to B7. It missed, but it also froze her own B7. Y'all need to go pick B7 in bingo tonight. Julia, you're up. Bunko, F2, C8. F2 is a miss. C8 is also a miss. This is where the nerves kick in because all you're waiting like, is it a hit? Is it a hit? I mean, we're down to the wire. Tiny, you're up. This is anybody's game. A 3 and a 2 for Sly, a 3 and a 3 for Arc. But man, a lot of that Arc map is covered. Tiny, Grizzly to H6. Grizzly to H6. It's a miss. Dow, you're up. Are you going to be the hero? Are you going to do it for your team? Because another miss, Sly's going to be right back on you. Dow, Bunko, C6, F4. Oh, boy. One of those two is a hit. Oh, my. One of those two is a hit. Ocean Man, you better find a boat and find it fast. Ocean Man, you're up. Are we going to get the drama again? Grizzly to B3. It's a miss. Gemstone, you're up. Snowstorm to F4. F4. Is a miss. F4 is a miss. Wow. And Snowstorm going to freeze E5. Football. I think Ark has some clues here. Football, you need to work your magic like you did in the playoffs. Bunko, E5, G6. E5. Breaks a seal. Breaks an ice block. G6. Is a miss. Pope, you're up. Snowstorm to C6. Football loses his seal. Dimes. Y'all are down to the wire, right? You know you got to come through. You got to hit something. Funko, E5, G3. E5, breaking the ice block. And G3 is a miss. Valar, the captain. Your move, Valar. You did, but they just played another snowstorm. And it froze it again. It was the last one frozen. Back-to-back snowstorms. Snowstorm to C6. Snowstorm to C6. Football Master. Res and Restore. And Dimes, that is going to refreeze. E5 again. Bones, you're up. Ark, there's still time. Ark trying to figure out that last seat. But it doesn't mean that you can't come through with a big attack. E5 Grizzly. Breaking the ice block again. Y'all love that E5, don't you? And like, we're going to break that E5 100 times. That's determination. Julia, you're up. It's a feeling. It's a hunch. I get it. Grizzly to D6. Ocean Man loses his seal. No, no. Tiny, you're up. Max sealed Ocean Man, keeping it alive. And there it is, Grizzly to E5. They wanted to see the E5. They finally have broke the block and get to reveal E5 is a miss. No, they were so sure at E5 was right there. All right, Dow, you're up. Vines to Ocean Man and Grizz to D6. Vines breaks the seal. Grizz to D6. Wins the game. Congratulations to Dow and Ark for getting the win. We can check. If he did, you can uphold that challenge. All right, not using it. There it is. All right. Congratulations, Art, getting the win. And our MVP tonight, it was close. Villar got a hit and sunk a ship. Dow got a hit, sunk a ship. But Dow gets the MVP because he actually finished the game. MVP Dow, congratulations. Dimes, before we go, I'm going to have to separate you and Julia because do you want to guess what the 3 letters were of their final vote? The same as yours. A3, A4, and A5. Both teams had A3, 4, 5, and both teams had a C6. So 4 of the boats, 4 of the places were exactly the same. Pretty crazy stuff. Hey, I had a blast. I love this event. If you guys have not played this event, you should have 5, 6 people knocking on the door to play this one. This is not one you want to sit out. It's fun. It's fast. It's a great time. Torpedoes, snarky, and also the raft is going to make it even more fun. We promised y'all that we were going to create an amazing ship strike game. It's better than any battleship game you ever played, and I think we got it. This is a ton of fun. Castle Strike is going to be right there with it. So we've got one more event to roll out and a brand new video game this year. It's going to be a great 2026 because we've already seen some of the events with ropes. Ship Strike has gotten better. The fishing events have gotten better. farm fights will be out in the near future, and Castle Strike's right around the corner. So thank you guys for all you do. Play the items, use your own creativity. Your creativity is the inspiration for us to build new games. Have a good night, everybody. Ironically enough, the two teams in the finals both lost tonight. So Ark and Vox are both 1-0. Jet and Sly, the tournament participants, need to come back strong on February 28th. You guys have a great night, and I will see you Wednesday night for Faction Wars. Peace.